IPL Radio, inspiring passionate lives for the community.
Hello everyone, and you are back with Karen, and I have my special guest, Kez Wickham St George. Welcome, Kez.
Thank you. Hello everyone.
And how wonderful is it that we get to come and chat on IPL today?
Fabulous.
Can you bring it a little bit closer to the mic, Kez, because everyone wants to hear your voice.
Fabulous.
So, Kez, like, we chat and natter every day, so this is like a conversation that we have every day, and people are getting an insight into this because Kez is an amazing author, but she's also such an amazing champion and advocate for other authors. So she's joining us today to talk about a local author's book. Kez, can you share with us who that is?
Tina Rafa Mulligan, book The 7-Day Dragon. I was really impressed when I read it. It was not so much a little children's book, but one that the market sadly needs, and that was between the ages of, say 7 and 12. I just found it fitted right in the niche because there's not a lot of books out there written for that particular age. I seem to miss out.
And there's beautiful illustrations in this book by this amazing, gorgeous young artist called Ella May, and they are just gorgeous illustrations. And when we launched this book, because this book was actually published by one of my publishing presses, Serenity Press, and when we launched this book, we actually had a really big launch in Fremantle and a big art display of all the art, and it was just absolutely exquisite. But this book has touched the hearts and minds of many people, and we know Tina, she's a prolific writer. She's written many books. Many books, and 7-Day Dragon is that.
Yeah, I find Tina's work, not only with children, but she writes for teens and adults, and to do that you've got to be extremely creative. Yeah,
she's amazing. She's just across the board and gives so much back as well. She helps us all on our journey. I know I wouldn't be where I am today in my authorship journey if it wasn't for Tina. She's amazing.
I love it when she gets dressed up and goes to the schools. I think you're very brave because I would never do that, but I just think she's wonderful.
She does. She gets dressed up in her little gypsy outfits and things, and my children have inherited some of those clothes, by the way, for their dress-up bag.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they think it's wonderful, and lots of wonderful noises.
Yeah.
So what was it about the book, Kez, 7-Day Dragon, that really struck you?
It was the honesty in the book, and that being allowed to be imaginative and creative, using our imagination. You know, it brought back memories when I was a child, like doing grass angels. My dad would mow the lawns, hand mow the lawns way back then, and we would do grass angels.
Grass angels?
Yeah, not snow angels, grass angels.
I've heard of sand angels and snow angels, but not grass angels.
Oh, it's the same.
That's amazing.
Same thing. Yeah. But the sweet smelling grass, it brought all that back, and I just thought this book, if you're an adult, what I find with all children's book, when you're an adult and you read it, it'll bring back a memory. And so Tina's book brought back that memory for me of using my creative imagination, looking up at the sky and seeing horses and unicorns in the clouds, and it's just an amazing thing that happens when you're reading a children's book, and that's what Tina's book did for me. It brought back the childhood experiences of fresh air, no stress, no worries. Mum and Dad looked after me.
No iPads. There's no iPads in this book.
No.
It's all about the colour of your imagination,
That's
isn't
right.
it? And letting it run wild.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the kids would do if we took away their digital world today. That's where they've been brought up. And I was brought up to use my imagination to make stories in my head. And then if I wanted to write them down, I could. That's what the book did for me. It brought back a memory. And it's so important.
Yeah.
So important to remember the good times.
Let's talk about boredom, Kez.
Oh, boredom, right.
For children, boredom is one of the most healthiest things that you can gift your child. I have found, especially to get the creative juices flowing, you know, and we do it in my house where, you know, all iPads and phones are gone, and we put out the Lego. We just plant things around, and it's, you watch them gravitate towards it, and all
Yes.
this creative juices, and they're so much happier,
Yes.
or open up the door and get out to the backyard and
Yeah.
be creative, and they build things out of nothing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
That's right.
And that's what this book is about. It's all
Yeah.
back to that, the essence of your imagination running wild and seeing where it goes.
Yes, I
Oh,
agree.
oh my goodness. So that is The Amazing 7-Day Dragon by Tina Raffin Mulligan, and you can find it at the serenitypress.org website to support a local author and also a local publishing house. But Kez, let's talk about you and your authorship. You've been a busy bee as well recently,
I have.
and
Yes.
you have book number 3 coming out.
Oh my goodness, yes, book number 3. It was like saying goodbye to a best friend that's been with me forever. The lead character has built up, and when she's asked to work in a different realm, and I call it the shadow world, it was like, how do I go about this? You know, because I actually felt quite lonely when I finished the story and said the end. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning when I said the end, and I thought, what do I do?
It is bittersweet, isn't it? But then there's this magic of the
Yes.
what's to come, which is
Yes.
wonderful. But I have to let everyone know, guys, Kez does not write little books. Now we're talking about book 3, but it's like her first book was. I was putting your book in the catalogue yesterday, and it's 402 pages. Is
Oh,
book 1,
goodness.
like 402 pages, people, well over 110 or 20,000
That's 'cause
words.
it's so interesting, Karen.
Absolutely, no, absolutely, and your stories and how you weave them and share them is absolutely unique and beautiful, and there's stories to treasure, and you go, oh wow, and you learn something new through your writing because people go on their travels with you. It's just I just enjoy it. And then book 2, the Cuppetry, so Metal Mermaids book 1, Cuppetry's book 2, and you will see a distinct similarity in the covers of Kez's book, because we found this beautiful fire,
Well, you did,
the
Karen.
campfire, and whenever I seen it, it was just like, oh, magic, that's
Yeah.
the cover.
Yeah.
And then so we've kept that theme going through, and
Yes.
Scribe cover will be released shortly, so just watch out for that on MMH Press, which is wonderful. So, and you enjoy the writing process, and I've learned so much in the process of writing and editing and getting your words perfect and your books out into the world with these 3 books, haven't you, Kez?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you learn when you're a writer. The conversations between people become deeper. They become more interesting. Where you go, wherever you travel, especially in my books, because I take you on an adventure with me, you learn to not so much you take mental notes. People are more interesting than what they think they are, and I have a lot of comments like, oh, well, you're not adding to the conversation. I'm watching what you do. I'm watching the way you think. I'm watching where you go. So I'm what they call a watcher. So yeah, it's very, very interesting in my life.
Did you hear that, guys? You are more interesting than you know. Kez is watching.
Yeah,
You could be in one of her books. I'm sure I'm in there somewhere.
You might be.
Oh, it's been absolute pleasure to chat to you, Kez, and to get to know you more. And our listeners, we love having you coming into the show and sharing about and championing authors and sharing their books with the world, but getting to know you and your authorship better.
Thank you. Well, tomorrow morning I'm doing another book, but August is Poetry Month. So all published poets, to get hold of the station, ring in, leave your name, and so someone can contact you, and you never know if it's the message is given to me. You never know, you could be on air.
There we go.
Yeah.
Poetry Month. It absolutely is. And even for MMH Press, we have a monthly poetry night. If you want to come and join us, you can go to MMH Press on Facebook, Making Magic Happen Press, and you can come and join us and read one of your poems on our live poetry night
Definitely,
on
yes.
the last Thursday of every month.
Yeah.
Amazing. Be part of it. Thank you so much, Kez. That was wonderful. Thank you for coming and joining
you're
me today.
welcome. More than welcome.
And here we go. We'll have a little bit of I Want to Break Free by Queen.